Now, before we get started, I would really love if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get the latest content from the YouTube channel, The Last Rewind. And don't be shy about leaving your comments at the bottom of the page because you are the sole reason why this channel will be successful. Thank you.
Welcome back to The Last Rewind. And before we get into the festivities for today, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you can get more of these videos and help the algorithm discover the show anytime it pops up here on YouTube. Now, let's get straight into it. Doc Rivers, as you see in the graphic down to the bottom, has recently made some news, again for bad reasons, and it seems like it's been bad reasons ever since the 2008 Boston Celtics Big Three championship. He made some comments in an interview he was in. Let me pull that interview back up. Bear with me, I just had the thing up here and then it just disappeared. But basically, it's about Doc Rivers and his 3-1 mishaps. You know, the only person I can think of that's probably more famous for a 3-1 mishap is Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors when they lost to the LeBron James Cleveland Cavaliers. They had a 3-1 collapse and were not able to recover. And then, of course, infamously, they went to go get Kevin Durant from the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then they won a couple championships after that. And so Doc Rivers, I don't know what to make of this guy. He seems like a player's coach. The players all seem to speak, for the most part, glowingly of him, except for maybe Rondo. And but they seem to speak glowingly of him. I guess he may be a good motivator, but he doesn't seem to be a good X's and O's coach. Especially when it comes down to getting dirty in playoffs. Something collapses with his teams. Or maybe he just has pure bad luck. I don't know. But he's had 3-1 blown leads since he's been a coach. He's been a coach for 26 years. As of today, he is, I think, one game behind Phil Jackson for an all-time winningest coach. Not winningest coach, but I don't know where is he at on there? 7th on the list. And that's something to be proud of. I mean, yeah, I guess the regular season he's doing his thing. It's just the playoffs we have to worry about. Now he's the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. He hasn't seemed to stay anywhere long in the past few years. The playoffs, it seems to be his downfall. Most people kind of now look back at the Celtics when they won. They kind of say that the only reason they won was despite his coaching. It was the talent of Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett that pulled them through. And I hate to not give Doc Rivers any credit for that. You know, there has to be something in order to that, because it's not even just X's and O's, because Phil Jackson probably wasn't the best X's and O's guys. He was a guy that could bring the team together, because there's a lot of personalities that you have to deal with. That same thing with Kobe and Shaq, 2 alpha dogs that didn't want to relent, didn't want to give up the ball, and he was able to get them through that for 3 straight championships. That was a miracle that they stayed together that long, at the height of their careers and the height of their egos. So there's something to be said to someone that can delegate egos to the position they're supposed to be to help to win a championship. So that's a big deal. And maybe Garnett, Pierce, and Allen didn't have that problem, but he hasn't been able to capitalize with that any other time after that, on any other team after that. And he has had some bad luck in playoffs. I will agree with that, because, you know, Chris Paul has gotten hurt, or other players on the Clippers got hurt. But that can't be your total excuse, because people play injured and play through it. You got to out-coach the other team still, regardless of what happens. So let's see, what does he have? Let's see, Rivers, what is it when he had McGrady? Blew a 3-1 lead with the Magic in 2003 to the Pistons in the first round. The Clippers, he did it twice in the semifinals, in 2015 to the Rockets, in 2020 to the Nuggets. But that's not the problem. I'm okay with except because people fail. People fail all the time. People get put out the first round. People have disappointing playoff runs. It happens. I mean, you just happen to have the record for it right now for most 3-1 blown leads. But don't give anybody some ammunition for going at you for saying why they think you're a bad coach. And that's exactly what they did because of your mentality. His mentality. Let me read the comments he said first. What he said first. See, in the interview, Rivers thinks the criticism he receives for those collapses is unfair in some ways. Here's what he said. I don't get enough credit. Maybe I should read in his voice, but I don't want my voice will be hoarse by the time I do that. Here's what he said. I don't get enough credit for getting the 3 wins. Rivers recently told Anscape, I get credit for losing. I always say, what if we had lost to Houston in 6? No one cares. One of the things that I'm proud of is we've never been swept. Really? That's what you're proud of? The end game is you still lost. He continues, all the coaches have been swept in the playoffs. My teams achieve. A lot of them overachieve, and I'm very proud of that. That's nothing to be proud of. Now you can say what you say, oh well, we've never been swept, but I'm very disappointed we still got, beaten in the end. That's what really matters. No one goes to the playoffs and say, hey dog, we had a pretty good year. We didn't get swept. No one goes to the playoffs and say, hey dog, we had a pretty good year. We only lost in 6. That hurts worse when you have 3 opportunities. You're up 3-1. You have 3 opportunities to close the series out, and you fail 3 times in a row. That's worse than, let's say, being up 3-2 or tied 3-3 or getting swept. You get swept, that, go ask any NBA player. I guarantee you, they'll tell you, okay, let's say as far as point differential in the finals. If they were, let's say it was a tie 3-3 and they got blown out by 50 versus tied 3-3 and they got beat by a last second shot. But see, because then you can go in your head and say, oh, wow, I could have done this. I could have made a block here. I could have made a screen. If I made that free throw, if I made that 3-pointer, that would have made the difference. We would have won the game. You go through things like that in your head, psychologically trying to reenact what happened, what you could have done differently. When you get blown out by 50, there's nothing you can do. Better team won. If you get swept, you're just like, better team won. That's all you can say. Like, we just got dismantled. The better team won. When you have a 3-1 lead, psychologically, that has to be damaging because it's like, okay, we clearly proved we're the better team. Clearly. All we had to do was win one more game, and you couldn't pull it off. And in your case, Doc Rivers, you couldn't pull it off 3 times. That's nothing to be proud of, man. Neither is being swept. It's nothing to be proud of either. You could learn a lesson from it, but to say you're proud that, oh, I've never been swept, ask the players. I think the players would have rather said, oh, we lost 4-2 or we lost 4-0. Losing 4-2 is like, okay, the better team still won. Overwhelmingly, you won. It wasn't close, but you have a team that had to win 3 straight to beat you. No, that's nothing to be proud of. It's almost like this is a lot of people's mentality today. It's that second place trophy mentality. It's like, oh, well, at least we got to the dance. Oh, we at least got to the finals. I went 6 times. A lot of people don't go 1 time. So we went 6 times and lost. So, oh, something to be proud of. No, it's not. There's nothing to be proud of. Ask the Buffalo Bills if they're proud of it. And if they say they are, they're lying. They would have rather won at least 1 out of those 4. They lost 4 Super Bowls. That's nothing to be proud of. Second place sucks for a reason. But that's the mentality. He's not helping. I know, and he's from the old school too, so I'm not sure why he even has that mentality. Nobody from his day would ever say that. Charles Barkley is from his day. You think Charles Barkley sits back and say, man, at least we got to the finals. I can rest easy with that. No, it still bothers him to this day, partly because Shaq keeps reminding him that he never won a championship. Karl Malone never is going to sit there and say, oh man, I am content that we just got to the finals twice and we didn't win anything. We're not even talking about the finals with you, Doc Rivers. We're talking about a blown 3-1 lead. Ask the Warriors. I guarantee you the Warriors still think about, despite them having 4 championships, they still think about that 3-1 collapse. That probably bothers them more than those 4 rings give them joy. You go talk to any competitor, they'll tell you the loss in the championship round bothers them more than the championship gives them joy, because they always think about what they could have done. And that's what the players, I'm sure, that you've had think about. I could have done something. If we just 3 games, I could have done something. We were right there. And that's why I don't like this comment by Doc Rivers, and I'm not sure what makes him think that we should be okay with that. And that's a horrible message for future players to ascribe to, go for when they go do their press conference or go over their Hall of Fame career. At least I got there. That's not the goal. No one says that. No one ever says that in relationships. No one says that when they're trying to get married to someone and they get engaged and then the girl breaks up with them. At least I got there. No one says that when they're trying to go for a first kiss and then they lean in and she turns the other way. At least I got there. No one's going to say that. And they're not going to say that in the NBA and feel proud about that too. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your opinions in the comments, and please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And I will see you on the next episode of The Last Rewind. Y'all have a good day. Peace.